Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for attending this session. Today, I think we are going to look at how our Anika Corp website, the source code, the related pipeline. So we will look at some document, and then we will look at some official resources plus some in development or some pilot stuff that still in progress. So let me go ahead to share my screen. Okay. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I think Nick and Josh built this conference page like a few months ago. It is defined in corporate IT under this route. I'm not sure whether everyone has access to it, but it has a great diagram that show the current branch and the environment, and probably you can go through it backward. So there's a production a branch which is deployed to our anikasystem.com. So that is the official site that we share with our customer or potential customers. So that is a final one. And then besides, we have this test branch, which is also associated with an environment. And the link, let me paste it into our chat. So that one, let me go to our chat. Okay, so this is one, and it is tricky that this site is protected by a password. So if you go there, you have to enter a password, and I will share this password with you guys later. So I don't want to present that information in any of the recorded screen. But if you enter the password, then you go to a mirrored site, and that it has a dark cloud um, uh, extension name, and that is just another environment that come from this test environment, and we only have those two, say official environment, and we have the pipeline to deploy those two the code to those two environment. The test one, I believe, it is hosted in an Azure static app resource. I don't know the exact subscription it belongs to, but this information should be captured in the either DevOps pipeline, since the pipeline is in charge of pushing it. And the production side, it's also tricky. It looks like it's hosted by a vendor, and we are uploading a file to a FTP site, and that files will be mapped to some web hosting platform which user can see. So it is not in any Anika owned infrastructure for unknown reason. From my point of view, we are hosting a site for many customers. So we are have a lot of infrastructure we can take advantage of. So why these things have to be outsourced to a vendor, I don't know, and that does bring some inconvenience. So I'll bring some details later. And then we have this dev branch as well, but we don't have any official environment to support the dev, the ongoing development work. So it calls dev, but actually it represents a group of like a feature branch. So you can name or use any like a naming convention as a wish. So here's some suggested naming convention, but to be realistic, you can do whatever you want with a branch name, and then you gather those code to your local. And I think Nick suggests that we use this live server extension for Visual Studio Code to run those web page. But because they are very static, So when I say static, it doesn't it has very minor JavaScript. So there are many just pure HTML page with some CSS. So if you can freely open it with any browser without this extension. So it's just up to you guys. How you want to run. And then once you satisfy with the result, then you can push those code to issue a pull request, merge code to test the test branch, and then the CI pipeline will be triggered, get it deployed to this .cloud environment, which are so protected by the password. And then you can share this link with the business owner, let them verify if it meets the requirement or not. And if they give us a go signal, then we can the pipeline itself will create a pull request that merge into the production the main branch, and then you just click that approval button to make this deployment go through, and the pipeline will generate the FTP package. Um, um, I mean, generate the application package and push it through FTP, and then
Can you
the production side will be updated. Yeah, go ahead.
could you drop the link to this Confluence page in the chat?
I I didn't. Sorry for that. Let me
No worries.
share
And then
share this
and then
link.
I
Yeah,
guess you're about to go to the you're gonna whenever we go to the Azure DevOps side, we can put that project in the chat as well.
that is correct. So this is a conference page. Yeah, so this one I know it is created by Josh and Nick. I believe they are still up to date. No, just later on we added a few resources which are not official, but it definitely capture the normal, I would say, workflow that we can promote the code from dev to production. And besides, I think Raymond created a few documents regarding corp website as well, but I'm not sure if those things are still in use or not. I haven't got a chance to go over those documents. I just find them today. So, but I would like to paste this link to our chat as well in case someone want to read later. Okay, so we have those two documents, and then and we can go to the Azure DevOps. So this is the regular say directory that we do our uh, agile work. So the Vital One, the RPA, the staff cloud team has its own. But beside that, we also have another directory which is called um, Anika System Incorporated. So the one that we are looking at, this is the Anika Labs, but there's another one, Anika System Incorporated. I believe it is owned by Kaluz and Sam. So it's still active. I'm not sure, but that is a place that we host the source code, and you can request the permission from them if you don't have the access now. And if you go to this corporate website project, you can get those repositories. And I believe the one that we are deploying from is this Anika system UI V1. And what is V2? I don't know. I know those backend stuff, are they in use? I'm not sure. So I never touched those repository, but I only focus on this UI V1 repository, you know, when we have some requirements. And then we have a few branches here. Let me see if we can switch to the branches view, which might be easier. Okay, cool. So like I mentioned, this main branch is the one that associated with production deployment. So let's say tomorrow we need something to go to production. So those codes need to be merged to main. And before that, we want to have it deployed to the .cloud environment for verification. Then it should go to the test branch as well. And then other than that, I would say the other branches are more like a feature branch, so they are named differently, and some of them has been have not been touched for a while. I don't believe they will be merged soon, but just leave them there. So that is the Azure DevOps repo, and we can also look at the pipelines. There are multiple pipelines defined, but the two things that we mentioned in the diagram, these two are more about these top two, the active one. So the corporate website update test, that is for the .cloud test side deployment, and this is for production. And that Alnos, um, that is I think the vendor's name who hosts this production side for us. And since those two platforms are using a different hosted differently, so their deployment steps are different. If you look at the YAML definition, you can see this test side, it is Azure static web app. So we basically just create that package, build that package and drop it into this Azure static web. And then the other one, um, the production side, that is quite different. It's simple, but it's quite different. So we just whitelist all the files that we want to pack, and then drop it into FTP server somewhere with the stored username and password. And I don't have this username and password, and I'm not sure if anyone currently in Anika have those information. So just one day if we decide to go to GitHub, I don't know how we can migrate those information, but so far so good. So that's the pipeline. And we may also want to look at some of the code. So like I mentioned, there are many HTML page. So I would say in most cases, someone just want us to like update contact information or just want to replace some images. So then we just need to I would say go to the website, let them tell us like which uh, portion we want to replace. For example, this footer. So if they want to change it with a different one, then we check like which web page it is, and then we find the corresponding HTML page, and then who we are, and then we come here and either change the CSS styling or update a few descriptions. That is the most requirement that we are receiving so far. And some of I try to build some reusable modules, such as this footer. So, like each page has the exact same footer. So instead of keep repeating the same code again and again, I build a sub page that each page can refer to. And definitely the CSS, those stuff should also be reusable. But I would say we're on halfway of making the code structure cleaner. So they still look a little bit ugly from my point of view. But this is something that we might want to improve um, gradually. Any questions so far?
Hey Mo,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I'm tracking. So if you merge into test, then it kicks off the the test pipeline where it deploys to .cloud. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
And then if once you finish that and everything looks good, then you merge into main, and that pushes to prod, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
So
makes
let's,
sense.
yeah. And as you see, if when you code merge to test, this pipeline will be automatically triggered. It will like build and deploy, without any like user interaction. And then it will also create this pull request from test to main, but it will not go through until we approve it. So it's just more like a one layer protection, just sitting there. And and at that time, like we can share the test side with some stakeholders, let them verify if the image looks good, and if they say okay, go ahead to deploy to production, and then we just go to the auto created. We can go to the pull request, take a look. So like there's multiple completed one, I believe. So like something called auto PR, that is the one that the pipeline created. So that I believe that will be uh, uh, something merging to from test to main. Yep. So like once you have your code submitted to test, this pull request will be created by the pipeline as well, and then it just a staging area that you can wait for the customer to give or the internal stakeholder to give you the deployment signal, and then you complete this pull request, and that will make the code merge to main, and then it trigger the deployment pipeline for production automatically. Yep. Okay. So I think that's pretty much everything in the Azure DevOps side. And let me paste this link to our chat as well. I There is a possibility that you guys may not have the access today, but I think you can reach out to Sam and Carlos to get that access. So this is Azure
I
DevOps
should
link.
I should definitely have access. Did you see where I had a branch in there from 2023?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Cool. So yeah, not new to this repository. It's great. Okay, yeah. And then the probably the last thing I want to mention is this GitHub stuff. So I created this repo under Anika system organization, and that is it's not official. That is just a clone of our GitHub repo. But the reason of having this copy is sometimes you have the requirement from different internal users. For example, like the business team want to update a contact number or image with a website, and you build it and you push it to you want to make it available for them, so you get it deployed to this cloud. But you wait for their approval result. But at the same time, another customer come to you and ask you to I don't know, change a color of any sections, and then it's not like first come first go. So sometimes the first completed development take a while to get deployed, but then there's another immediate change need to address. So I need additional environment to do those stuff. So sometimes I mean, that's not exactly follow this pattern. So the problem with this is like, when you have your feature branch ready, you push it to the test, then, it became the next release come to the next release scope, right? So it has to go. So if you have another request need to deploy first, you have to bundled with everything that you completed, so it's not as flexible as we wish. So that's why I tweak it a little bit. So I want to show you as well. So in this test website, if you click edit, you can see we do include this task branch as the trigger branch, but I also added this flag feature slash wildcard. So it means that if you have a feature, follow this naming pattern, you get it submitted, you also deploy to the .cloud environment. So then, let's say I have two or three feature completed, ready for deploy, then instead of merging them to the task, I can wait, until someone tell me, hey, the feature two can go, then I will merge it to task. But who knows like which branch will go first, which one will go later. So I'd rather wait until we have a clear order of deployment to merge tasks. But before that happens, they can sit in the feature branch and deploy it. So basically, those feature branches share or take turn to get deployed to the test environment. So that is um, the current, I would say, customization of this pipeline. I know it's not may not follow the industry standard, but consider that only have a limited available environment to use, so they just work around. And that is the reason that I bring this GitHub action or GitHub stuff in. So because here we can fully, add any GitHub actions, and we have some sandbox in Azure to use. So I explore the option to host some environment in S3 bucket and Azure Static Website. So we can dynamically add a user environment, as the developments go. So we don't have to stay with those two static environment from my point of view. So I tried different stuff, including these guys. I'm not sure if any of you try this. So GitHub has this page feature, and that can also run your site. So whenever you complete your code, you just choose which branch you want to deploy, and then you have a instance to run. So it's quite convenient, and you can choose either directly deploy from branch, or you have some GitHub action, and you can involve some validation. One day, Victor told me that he want to verify some hyperlink with our website. So sometimes those results got disappeared. This link became invalid. So he want to know like which one get broken. So we can run like perform some scanning against those things. And I didn't do through Azure DevOps, but I do have some GitHub actions defined here. So if I show you the branches here, we have a little bit more. So let me see branches. Okay, so you see these features, Lighthouse. That is a Google provided tool which can give you a score of those pages. So like the styling, the some performance, so a lot of stuff. So I have some integration in this branch. That footer style, I think it is more like styling things. Uh, I forgot. So there are too many like temporary branch that I do some prototype, but then we didn't get official confirmation whether this GitHub is some the direction to go. So they are more like some just prototype or some development uh, things here. But we can keep it here, and one day if we know that we can get rid of the Azure DevOps, and we know that instead of using this vendors hosting platform, we go with our own infrastructure, which I really hope to happen. Then at that time we can do another official migration. So far it's just more like a playground to try the stuff. So the official site are still deployed through Azure DevOps. But I believe I granted the access to the entire Vital team, if I remember correctly. Let me double check, making sure you guys can access it. Vital, yeah. So I believe you can all access this Anika website repo. So I can paste this link to our chat as well. Okay.
But the repo is definitely the Azure DevOps pipeline is definitely linked to GitHub, correct?
The Azure DevOps code, I would say I imported it from Azure DevOps to GitHub, and then they disconnected. So like there might be some like each repository contain its own thing. So this playground have some like fancy stuff like the GitHub action. There's some
Yeah.
like validation. Those things only appear in GitHub. but the Azure DevOps, it has the most recent styling and some like context information, some logos.
And
So
it
those
has a
things
current it has a current version that's in production right now, right?
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
So we can say right now GitHub is a fork
yes,
because it's
exactly.
a little bit different.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
That's an accurate term. Thanks, Raza. Okay, so I think that's everything I come to my mind so far. Does anyone have any
So
questions?
for the next update, say we just have to make a change to like a small but change to an element. We will do it in Azure DevOps repo and deploy it that way.
Yes, correct.
Okay, and then GitHub, we would get that patch and just bring it to GitHub to keep GitHub up to date.
Yes. So I would say it's optional. We can. So it's a little painful to syncing those repos from my point of view. And since this GitHub is not official, I would say even it doesn't contain the up-to-date styling or some logos may not matter. Like, we just use this as a playground to explore some like deployment options or some automations. But we never like tell our internal or external user that hey, there's a GitHub-based environment available. You can try. No, so it's just for developers. So if let's say those two sites have been occupied by some in development work, and then but you want to try some cool stuff, then instead of mess up those testing side, you can come to here and play with it. So just additional
No, that makes sense. Thank you.
yep.
Makes sense.
Okay, cool. And then I think, and by the way, so I don't know why, but sometimes we receive a request, we make the change immediately, but we have to wait for a while to get approval, in place. So I don't know the reason, but it happens. So my suggestion is like if we not very sure that if a particular change need to immediately go to production or not, so I would suggest that we keep it in a feature branch, and that feature branch is deployable to the test side anyway, so it doesn't have to go to the test. The like I mentioned, so if we go to the test branch, then it has to be deployed to production next time. So there's a risk that the internal customer look at those image they dislike and they want you to exclude it, and then you have to do some cherry pick. So I try to avoid that. So keeping them in the feature branch, until the last minute to deploy. I think they bring us some flexibility. So, okay,
Okay,
that's
I got
like
a question. So if you made a
sure.
feature branch, would you ever even have to use the test branch?
In terms of deploying to the uh, this what is it production site, no. So if we go to uh, the feature branch can also trigger the pipeline. It go to the site, and then I believe it's also created the pull request. But I still want to have like a aggregation place which collect all the features. So uh, it is true that we can bypass the test completely, but personally, I would just adjust the order of this. So do you merge code first or you deploy first? So I would like to like deploy first, but then I still want to merge the code to the test and
I would
making
say you
the
deploy it to whatever the dev environment is to verify the change. Then you merge it so that test can act like a UAT, you know? And then if everyone agrees on test, then you can deploy it to prod.
yes, correct. Yeah.
But we
So
don't, but you said that dev currently, what's the environment that dev deploys to?
there's no environment for that. So that's the problem. Like,
Yeah.
the dev can only run in your local through Visual Studio Code or browser. So we don't have any official environment to support that. So you have to share the environment with the test, the UAT. So
I
like
guess my question was, so if, I mean, if you have a feature branch and it deploys to quote unquote the test environment, so the .cloud website, would there then be even a point to merge into the test like like branch?
uh,
Since they're both
it,
deplo I guess what I'm trying to say is because they're both deploying to the same environment.
correct. That is correct. So let's say Raza and Taylor, each of you has a feature to develop, right? So then Taylor, you get the feature one completed. You want to show it to a customer, but then Raza may have his feature two, available either before or after you. So in that case, you guys want to present to customer, but happy path is like you guys can combine your code. You have both versions get deployed to test, and then hopefully they happy with all your changes. Then we should be good. We can push it to production. But
I mean,
there
it might be worthwhile if we do get, like, for instance, like, say, like, this could be a good task for an intern potentially, or whoever gets time. Basically, maybe we just get another Azure static website, you know,
and then
for dev deployment.
the thing is, you can add as many static set as you want, but there always be a like a mapping stuff between your active branch and environment. So the goal that I hope to see is getting some dynamic environment, provisioned. Like, once we have a feature branch, we get it pushed. We should, dynamically create a static Azure website, make it accessible. And when they merge to a production, we drop the environment, we drop the branch. Like, there always be a environment associated with the feature. So that can bring us the most flexibility from my point of view. So I agree that we can bring additional static side. It can make us release, but like how many test environment do we need? So we have to predict, right? So yeah, and to your question, Taylor. So I think we may not have to merge it to test. So yeah, I see your point. Like it get to deploy to a test environment, right? And someone say, "Hey, go ahead to push to production." You actually merge that feature branch to the main to get this production trigger. So definitely we can do that. But I still try to follow the existing flow as much as I can. So the only challenge I see is like, sometimes, I want to get the deployments happens before code merging. So then I just use this path. But do we have to keep this test environment? Can we just completely remove it? Maybe, but I haven't tried. I don't know if there is a problem with that. But uh, you know, I can see that each feature branch get finished and get merged to production, and then we get rid of the feature. So without aggregation branch test, I don't think there's any problem, but I could be wrong. So um, uh, maybe later on, you guys can figure out and tell me.
No, I mean, I get it. It's pretty much kind of like using the .cloud as kind of like two different environments as one. I guess it's just like I guess it's just a good practice to still merge in the test anyway,
Mm, yeah,
especially if two people are working on different features.
yeah. Yeah, and so far I do not really see any like a rollback requested, like they really dislike the change and have to exclude something. But like there are cases that we have some like a new logo or something prepared, but they want to wait until a particular time to public them. So in that case, we want to address some other changes first and hold up those changes. So having some individual features can just allow us to achieve that deployment order. So yeah. And that is just a quick and dirty workaround, but maybe there's a better approach to do so. So, just let me know if you figure out a good way. So I'm also willing to learn. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have. Any other questions?
Now, this has been very helpful. Thank you.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
Mo, this has been awesome. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And then probably I can post this video to this document. Maybe I can inject the video into the page in case someone want to review our discussion. And yeah, hopefully good luck to the tomorrow's deployment. Okay, and have a good rest of your day, folks.
All right, you too. Thanks again, Mo.
Thank you. Bye.